Kurt Russell is one of Hollywood's most talented and handsome leading man. He sure is. And he's appeared in more than 90 films over the past 5 decades. In 2025, Kurt Russell sleeps on winery couches and flies vintage planes at dawn. He turned down countless movie roles to focus on something else entirely. His wine business, his car collection, his secret political meetings. But his real money comes from places Hollywood doesn't want you to know about. His net worth just hit $110 million. But the way he built it will shock you. Kurt Russell was born on March 17, 1951 in Springfield, Massachusetts, right in the middle of one of the worst blizzards the area had seen in decades. Temperatures dropped to 15 degrees. Snow piled up to 28 inches. The roads were shut down. His parents, actor Bing Russell and dancer Louise Julia Russell, were trapped in Mercy Hospital for 3 more days after his birth. That delay changed everything. During that unexpected stay, Bing received a telegram offering him a role in California. Within 6 weeks, the family packed up and left the snow behind for Hollywood. If not for that storm, their lives could have turned out completely different. And Kurt Russell might never have become a star. But long before Kurt stepped onto a film set, his family was all about baseball. Bing Russell wasn't just an actor. He had signed with the New York Yankees farm system in 1948, earning $400 a month, which would be about $4,800 today. He played hard until a collision at home plate in 1949 shattered his shoulder and ended his career. Acting came next, but baseball never left his heart. In 1973, Bing bought the Portland Mavericks for $67,000. It was an independent team filled with misfits, old pros, college dropouts, even actors. Their motto, baseball for the fun of it. Young Kurt spent his summers with the team, soaking up the grit and freedom of the game. By high school, he was hitting .563 and getting scholarship offers from colleges. The Hollywood action hero had baseball in his blood. At just 9 years old, Kurt auditioned for a film called Safe at Home, starring his idols Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. He had every stat memorized: 298 average, 536 home runs, 1956 Triple Crown. It was 90 fam that day in the San Fernando Valley. He gave it everything he had. But the casting directors thought he looked too confident, too knowledgeable. They wanted a wide-eyed kid, not someone who seemed like he belonged on the field. With Mickey, he lost the role to Brian Russell, who had no connection to Kurt, and gave a flat performance. The film bombed. But there was someone else in that room. A Disney scout named Bill Walsh watched Kurt's audition and saw something special. That rejection planted the seed for Kurt's Disney future. His first movie role came just 3 years later. It happened at the World's Fair in 1963. His job, kick Elvis Presley in the shin. Literally. He was 11 years old, 48, and barely 78 pounds. Elvis was a full-grown icon. They filmed the scene on a freezing October day in Seattle, just 34. Beta dirty. Elvis insisted on 17 takes. That meant 17 solid kicks. And on one of those takes, Kurt kicked a little too hard. Elvis laughed. The director kept it in. That one scene, which paid him $250 for the day, around $2,400 today, left a mark. Elvis liked him. So did the crew. And someone else took notice. Walt Disney himself. In 1963, Disney was personally reviewing footage and saw Kurt's brief appearance. He noticed a moment where Kurt ad-libbed a line. It wasn't in the script, but it worked. Disney was so impressed he asked his team to find the kid who kicked Elvis. They did. On Valentine's Day, February 14, 1964, Kurt signed a 10-year deal with Disney worth $1.75 million, nearly $17.5 million in today's money. It was one of the longest and most valuable youth contracts in Disney history. By 15, Kurt had already starred in Follow Me Boys and was on track to become Disney's top star of the 1970s. Walt Disney himself called him a 15-year-old boy for whom I predict a great acting future. That prediction came in Walt's last filmed appearance. Before his death in December 1966, the studio poured resources into Kurt's career, casting him in hits like The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, Now You See Him, Now You Don't, and The Strongest Man in the World. The movies made money. Audiences loved him, and Disney's investment paid off. In 1971, the Barefoot executive hit theaters. It was released on Kurt's 20th birthday. He played a mailroom worker who discovers that a chimpanzee can predict TV ratings. The idea sounded insane, but it worked. The film became a surprise success. It featured actors like Harry Morgan, Joe Flynn, and even a young John Ritter. They shot parts of it in Long Beach and the rest on Disney's studio lot. The National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences backed it. Disney aired it on The Wonderful World of Disney for years. That goofy little comedy proved Kurt could carry a film. Long before they became Hollywood's power couple, Kurt met Goldie Hawn on a movie set. It was 1966. She was 21. He was just 16. They were filming the one and only genuine original Family Band. Goldie thought he was adorable, but too young. They didn't speak much. They both swore off dating fellow actors. But 17 years later, everything changed. It was 1983 and they reunited during auditions for Swing Shift. Kurt showed up hungover. His first words to her, "Man, you've got a great figure." Most actresses would have stormed out, but Goldie laughed. They went on a date, then another. They never married, but they've been together over 40 years. They had a son, Wyatt Russell. In 1986, Kurt wasn't just an actor. In 1970, he narrated a Disney TV special called Disneyland Showtime. It aired just 5 days after his 19th birthday. The show introduced the Haunted Mansion ride and featured the Osmond brothers. Donnie Osmond gets lost. Kurt guides him and the audience through the park. They sang songs, rode rides, and brought Disney magic into living rooms across America. The show earned a 9.110 on IMDb and made Kurt the face of Disney's family image. In 1981, Kurt's time with Disney came full circle. He voiced Copper the Hound, Dog and the Fox, and the Hound. The film was about friendship and heartbreak. Kurt gave Copper a soft, conflicted voice, especially in the scene where Copper tells Todd they can't be friends anymore. It was a long way from kicking Elvis. This would be his last major Disney project. The film marked the end of the old Disney animation era and the beginning of a new one.